Well, students, we are entering into our first essay, and some of you may be wondering what this essay is going to be about. The first essay is going to be a eulogy essay. And some of you may be saying, what in the world? Why am I writing a eulogy? Well, if we go back to the theme of our class, which is who am I really want you to take the time to consider your life, and not just your life now, but your life 60 years from now, and ask yourself who you want to be. What do you want people to say about you when you're gone one day? And writing a eulogy can be really empowering. It's a really great way just to think about what you want said on that final day. And so that's what we're going to be talking about, and that's what we're going to be writing about over the next several weeks. This is your handout, and it's located in your essay topics and handouts in your Blackboard page. But I want to go over it with you so that we can really unpack what this essay is going to be on. Your own death may be far from your mind, or it may have to be kept close depending on your circumstances. Either way, death is not an easy thing to think about. A big part of becoming death positive is enjoying your life in the meantime. A great way to do so is by preparing anything life throws your way. And in all honesty, this can oftentimes be death. Please note the following sections in your handout. Examples of writing a eulogy for yourself. Writing your own eulogy, though emotional, can be empowering. If you're at a loss for what a eulogy is or how to begin writing your own, I provided several steps as well as examples below. If nothing else, think of this as a tribute to yourself. What have you loved? What have you learned? And what do you want to tell others after you're gone? Essentially, what do you want said about your life when you're gone one day? The first step is to be your authentic self. By writing your own eulogy, you have an incredibly unique opportunity to say exactly what you want to say about yourself and your life. Make it feel as though you're still in the room with your loved ones and use your own voice. In all honesty, you can write whatever you'd like. It can be helpful to pretend as though you're writing the eulogy for someone else. For example, you can address everyone or aspects of your life by saying your own name. Would want blank to know she'll never forget when she fell in love with him. This is what we call third person. You don't have to make it heavy or even sad, and you shouldn't shy away from exerting anecdotes or humor. Consider what your family and friends would want to hear. Remember, that's who your audience is going to be. It's going to be the people closest to you. They don't want to hear about when you went to college. They don't want to hear about what you did for your profession. They know those things. Go deeper. What about your college years made your life worth living? What great love story did you have? How did you change the world? What kind of parent were you? Think about these things that the people in that room would want to hear about the most on that day. Consider consulting loved ones. In the step above, we recommend you to be yourself. And sometimes that can be really, really difficult. While there's not a right or wrong way to do this, you may leave out some really important details trying not to brag about yourself. This is one of the last messages that you'll give when you're thinking creatively, so don't hold back. If it's hard for you to brag or write about yourself objectively, consider talking to your loved ones to fill in the gap. Ask them what makes you special. With that being said, it's also fine to keep this to yourself. Create a good writing space for yourself. If you're trying to be productive, it's really important to ensure that you have a good environment. If you have any kind of routines that help you, make sure you do those. And when you're ready to write, do what you can do to get settled in and in the right mindset. This may mean making a trip to your favorite coffee shop or opening your favorite wine or even cracking open a cheap beer. It is up to you. You should also choose a comfortable environment where you can let yourself get emotional or really think out loud. Pick a favorite spot in your home. Make sure you're not distracted. Play some of your favorite music as that helps you, but it's understandable if you also need silence. Walk away from your work. I can't express this enough. After you've written some and you've made some progress, you might hit a wall. This is okay and it's expected. All of your ideas may already be in your draft, or they may be in a mental corner in your mind. Give yourself some space to breathe. Writing a eulogy, much less your own eulogy, isn't supposed to be a piece of cake. It's heavy stuff and it's hard to think about. So it's okay if you need to walk away for a while. Revisit and finalize your project. After you've taken those breaks, you might feel re-energized, or you might get some motivation to finish. You might even want to edit your own eulogy. You can choose to hold on to those original drafts, or you might want to put it away for a later day. When rereading your drafts, consider reading them out loud. Does your language sound awkward, too formal, too choppy? How's your grammar looking? Edit this piece as you would any other professional or serious work. Now that we've kind of talked about some good tips and things that I want you to think about in a eulogy, let's talk about the essay requirements. You need to complete the essay using MLA format, which we'll talk about in this week's lecture. The length should be a minimum of 2.5 pages. If a student is missing portions of the required length, you will lose percentage points based on the percentage of the missing paper. Consider your purpose and audience. What is the keynote idea you want them to walk away with? That's your thesis statement. Make sure it's evident. You need to consider organization and cohesion. There needs to be a clear stream of consciousness in each paragraph. Each paragraph should have a distinct purpose. Please see the eulogy example that I've shown you in this folder for a great example. Consider grammar, mechanics, edit, and proofread your work. Use the tips I've provided and walk away to give yourself time to process. Use your voice and creativity. While this essay has an implied thesis, and yes, you have to be organized and thoughtful, make sure that you're engaging. Make it easy to read and fluid. Imagine that someone else is representing you. They're standing at the pulpit before all your friends and family and reading these words out loud to say goodbye. What message do you want said? There needs to be a clear opening, a message, and a conclusion of the eulogy. Just as we talked about in our earlier lecture, there needs to be an introduction, body paragraphs, and a conclusion. Do your best. And make sure you look at the rubric for additional information to help you along the way. Guys, if you have any questions about this handout or what this essay means, don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. I'm looking forward to working with you on this project for the next several weeks.